This is Steve with Springbrook Research Institute, and today we're talking with Alex Whitaker, who is going to be presenting for Doug Robinson, the Executive Director of NASIO. Alex is the Director of Government Affairs for NASIO, and he will be discussing the current grant update on the cybersecurity grant that we've been talking about for the past 6 months. All the information on our previous conversations can be found on the Springbrook website on the Springbrook Research Institute. So, Alex, I know we're getting near the end of the fiscal year, and there's a lot of questions concerning this $1 billion and the $200 million tranche that's going to be distributed this year. I don't want you to say anything you can't say before September, but can you give us any updates whatsoever on what's happening with this money that these agencies can spend on their cybersecurity initiatives?
Yeah, well, Steve, you mentioned 6 months we've been waiting for this, and NASIO has actually been waiting even longer for that as we worked on getting this thing across the finish line. But it does look like we are finally getting close to having some real and actionable information for everyone on it. And I can't make any promises, but I am pretty confident by the time our webinar rolls around that I'll have some actual information to share with everyone that folks are really not going to want to miss as they consider how to use these grant funds.
So can you just unpack that? What does actionable information mean? Like, people have been waiting to get their hands on money to spend to indemnify themselves against cybersecurity attacks, and what's arguably one of the biggest subjects for bad actors, which are these local government agencies, utilities, any type of entity that deals with the public. Can you give us any hint as to what might be coming?
Yeah, so I think that at this point, my phone number might almost be blacklisted by CISA by how often I call them to ask them details about how can this money be spent. So CISA knows, and DHS and the federal government knows that folks in the localities and states are sitting around. They're developing their plans at the request of CISA to submit once they're ready, but they can't do that until they know what the money can be used for, what are the local entities of government that can spend it, are assessments going to be allowed, it's supposed to be spent on services. We're expecting all these things to be answered by the time when the guidance comes out, which hopefully, again, will be by the time we have that webinar. So this isn't going to be just additional sort of generalities and platitudes, but actual real information that folks can use to make decisions on how they want to apply for the grants and then spend the money.
So it's been hurry up and wait, but you're telling me that come September 15th at noon Pacific time in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we're having our Activate event, you will be able to tell our assembled crowd of local government agency representatives some details on how to get their hands on the money that they can spend on their cybersecurity initiatives. Is that what I'm hearing today?
We will have something for you. I can pretty much guarantee that.
All right. If there was anybody in the room, I think they'd be cheering and whistling now, but we can save the applause for September.
Outstanding. Well, I look forward to chatting with you all.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
You got it.